We talking sprint culture, we talking track and field. When the gunshot lick it, give a man the chills. We talking speed demons like Usain. The red track where a legend really makes their name. The US and Jamaica, they run the sprinting game. There's nothing like the Olympics for your claim to fame. When you break the world record, you show you ain't the same. From the men to the women, times are insane. Yeah, we talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture.
First off, I'd like to send a mild apology for questioning the Jamaican sprinters. A mild one, just mild. This is just the trials. I thought it was a fair question. And I think it's pretty clear that they're back. And they are a force to be reckoned with. And big up the black, green, and gold. I always love. It's in my blood, you know what I'm saying? If I am Canadian, it is in my blood. There's always going to be respect there. But because of that separation, I do ask questions. Yo, people are rolling, yo. Paris is gonna be crazy, man. Oh my gosh. I can't even start to think about how crazy that is, man. I asked a few questions earlier in the year, like, yo, does it feel like an Olympic year yet? It feels like an Olympic year. And I will say that the 100 is picking up. And that's important. That's important. So yo, big them up, yo. I've always liked Oblique. You know what I'm saying? I saw Keyshawn last year, and I couldn't understand why he didn't run the finals at trials, because he looked amazing in his heat. But I would have liked to seen him run at the World Championships. He ran the Diamond League, did all right. I think he came fourth Diamond League final. Well, he's obviously a force to be reckoned with. Stephen Francis has always spoken highly of him. It's like he's just keeping him in his back pocket. Like, we're not going to unleash you yet. I saw a post come out just before the semifinals. Stephen Francis is talking about how he's gonna hold him back. He's gonna hold him back a little bit because of the drug testing. There was drug testing. Jadko apparently, for those who don't know, Jadko apparently had Keyshawn up late testing the night before. So Stephen Francis, his coach, MVP, basically said, look, they had him up all night, so we're not going to be we're not really going to try to go at it. We're just going to chill. But yo, maybe they were just toying around people, yo. Or maybe that 977 is just scratching the surface. Maybe he's holding back. You think he was holding back? I was watching this interview with Stephen Francis on can't remember the platform. But anyways, he's basically saying that they basically asked him how Keyshawn Thompson compares to Asafa. And he was saying that Keyshawn's going to have a higher ceiling than Asafa because Keyshawn now has the benefit of, you know, how much they've developed as coaches and the access to technology that they have. And because of that, he feels like he's going to be better than Asafa. Asafa ran 972. And I believe Frano's not one of the men that just talk to talk. So Keyshane's gonna be something. And we're not just gonna just skip over Oblique. Like Oblique's obviously doing his thing. 982 isn't slow. Where was the rest of the times? Let me just check to make sure. So Akeem ended up coming third, 992. I didn't know. That's interesting. What happened to Julian Fort? What happened to Julian Fort? Tell me in the chat. What happened to Julian Fort? I was expecting a lot from him. I don't know if he was going to beat Akeem, but I mean, look, if your third place runs 992, that's a good trials. If third place ran 992. He didn't make the final? That's crazy. He ran 9 in his heat. It's madness, yo. But anyways, Paris is going to be crazy. Vibrating higher. And I know all the men just saying,
let's meet me on the track and see if you can beat me.
It's not a game. I myself, like I said, I'm Canadian with some Jamaican blood. But obviously, if you really want to know Wagwan and to get a true essence of the scene and what happened, I mean, you'd probably want to talk to an actual Jamaican. Because of this, I know I can't wear all shoes. So I got to give the floor to some people who may have the shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to add to the chat, the one and only Werewolf here.
Yo, hold on. I have something. I looking for something. Not that. Not that. I'm looking for something. What's in now?
Yo, I didn't say nothing. I was asking questions. I can't ask questions.
Looking for something. This is the one.
So I can't ask questions, Doc. I was curious where they're at, yo. Now I know. So hold on. Based off the results today, right? Are you ready to say that Keyshane's going to be on the podium?
Yo, okay. Remember, one of the reasons why I gave Stephen Francis a nominee for Coach of the Year and Coach of the Year was because of the athletes he produced. Not just the medals that was won, but the athletes he produced. And why are we both in red? Yo, this wasn't planned.
This wasn't a setup, people. I don't know Warren had plenty of time, ample time. I'm sure he saw the live and saw what I was wearing, so he put his gear on second. So I obviously didn't copy him.
All right, let's not get sidetracked. I'll come back to why I wear red to inspire the Canadians, but forget about that. For now, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I said proudly that Dickens were doing for sure hands, and I'll be the first to say this. This is bigger than our versus Civil versus Kishan. This is now who is the best. Goes back to the days of Lance Browman versus Mills versus Frano, and we're in that era again. Right?
Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I sat down today and I was saying, yo, remember when Tyson beat Bolt? Remember that?
Were you talking about 07?
07. And Bolt went to the drawing board. 07 at what? The World Championships, right? And both 10 mils went to the drawing board, came back to what championships? What was that? The Olympics, right? And I said to them, Mills is going to lose back to Brownman. So it's not about Noah and all this. About those coaches are saying, listen, you want your lick back, but no, I'm going to continue adding on to the licks.
So this is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting because what I'm gathering from what you're saying is that it's not only about the athletes that are on the track. It's the coaches. The coaches are playing chess, basically.
Yeah,
the coaches are moving pieces and setting up strategy, and there's more going on than just what we see on the track.
Out of all these athletes, the only one that have been there before are the coaches. And the coaches know the hands that the other coaches will try to play. And I'm saying, when I saw that 9-7 just now, I went and said to myself, I have to show them this because listen. Big up all on the live. Hanson, I just tweeted a while ago. I made this tweet that says Stephen Francis is one of the greatest coaches. He's top 2 and he's not number 2. And every year since that, after trials, I went and retweet that tweet. And I just retweet that tweet for the 3rd year in a row.
No, he did his thing still because he had the winner of the men's and he had first and second in the women's, yeah. So he's obviously doing something right.
If you also look on some of the finalists.
Oh, let me take a look again. So the women, on the women's side, he had 3 on the women's side. And on the men's side, he had 1.
So he did not have
1 on the men's side. He only had 1 on the men's side. But
on the female side, on the female side, what are you counting?
I'm counting Sharika, obviously, and then hold on.
Natasha.
Sharika, Tia Clayton,
Natasha
Morrison.
And also count the UTEC person, slowly.
Oh, for real? Wait. Slowly?
Cool.
There's no slowly in the final, yeah?
It was... Oh, no, she's never in the final. My bad.
She's related to Steve Slowly?
I don't know who Steve Slowly is, but she's from the same camp.
He's a Jamaican dude that went to TCU. He's quick. I don't know if he ran 19, but I think he ran like 20 or something like that.
As I'm saying, Kishan reminds me of an Asafa Powell, but like a complete, a good starter, very strong build, and a wicked finisher. And
Frano was saying that though.
And it's crazy because we're yet to see him finish to the potential of how I'm supposed to finish. He has never got the chance to say, you know what, I'm gonna finish like how I'm supposed to finish a race.
You know what? I haven't heard him speak, right? But he looks like a soldier, yo. Like he doesn't look like he's easily rattled. He looks pretty stoic. I mean, when I first saw Asafa, I'm just saying he didn't look like this. I'm not saying Asafa looked soft or anything like that, but he just didn't look. He looked a little bit more
aggressive.
Asafa looked a bit more approachable.
Oh, you're talking about
along those lines. I'm talking. You see, if you see this dude show up to the track, he has a presence about him that's like, this guy's gonna do something. This guy he's not to be fucked with. It's like that type of vibe, which I think plays a factor.
Honestly, I want to pull my jacket up, but I just want to look the same as you're alive, bro. It's crazy.
I know. It looks like you did it on purpose, dog.
Yeah, I feel like I want to change, bro.
Yo, watch. I'm gonna let you
Anyway,
go.
bro.
I'll remove you for a second. I'll take out camera for a second
Nah,
so you can go.
nah.
Oh, okay.
I'm wearing this.
If it's,
I'm wearing
I'm
this.
all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm flattered.
I'm wearing this to motivate the Maple Leaf that.
Okay, Warren, be careful.
Evolve.
Be careful. Be careful, because I don't want you to count Andre out when it comes to the Olympics. I think it would be a mistake.
I'm talking about Canada as a whole.
No, I don't want to talk about Canada as a whole. I want to talk. If Andre wins the 100, I don't care about anything else you have to say. Now, let me say that right straight. I don't care about nothing else you have to say about any other Jamaicans. If we win that 100, talk is done, yo. That double six is dead, yo. That double six is dead. I don't hear nothing. There's nothing. I'm saying that right now. So be careful, dog.
If you think we are coming here to play Commonwealth friends, that's done now, bro.
No, I'm talking gold medal Olympics. We're talking Olympics right now, dog. It's 2024. It's not a play 2021 Olympics. It's a real quadrennial Olympics. I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about. If Andre comes through, I don't care about anything else that has to be said about Jamaica versus Canada. We have it.
All right.
We have it.
Let me just say there was never a Jamaica versus Canada thing. I'm just trying to bring you like some.
You just want to roast Canada, and my Canadian fans were not very pleased. They were not very pleased, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was kind of funny still.
Yo, was it? Yo. Oh my God, man! I wish I was still playing daylight. I would play daylight, not like us the whole day.
No man, this don't.
Yeah, but seriously, on a whole, this I know a lot of people who Shannon Sharps and all them people who are talking about this from trials. I know they're rethinking everything if they are, because I know those people don't watch Sha'Carri Field.
Explain what happened with that. I saw a few things, but explain to the viewers just in case they didn't see, and to me because I don't have all the details as far as what they were saying.
Okay, so all right. So Shannon Sharp came on his whatever thing that came on. I don't really watch he came on and he was like, Americans are going to be phenomenal. 1, 2, 3. With no context. Apparently whether he say YouTube highlights, he never know what it is. He just said that. And what's the other guy name? Stephen A. Smith was like, yo, calm down, bro. Like Stephen A. Smith,
for real.
Don't jinx us, bro. Stephen was like, yo, calm down, man. Don't say these stuff because X and Y. And he was like, yo, Stephen, come the breaks. Don't be too excited because this is the Olympics. This is not Super Bowl. This is the Olympics. This is track and field. It's you may talk now and things change down the game. So allow things to just grow into place. But he basically just saying, yo, write off everybody else. Like it's just us. And I understand that because even Americans that don't know the sport, they're very patriotic. And we understand that. But people who know the sports have to explain to them about how the sports work. And I guess Stephen A. Smith was trying to explain to him like, yo, bro, calm down, bro. Right, calm down. Get too excited. And of course, I'm quite sure, I don't know if he's going to look at the trial and see that thing changed. You understand? Because the title that they give the person who won last year and the title that was given because they have so far one of the fastest times. They can't even say that because this is one of the fastest times that has been run since Bolt has retired. And I'm quite sure this person will run faster than outside of the country because of the fastest track. Like Reggae Pole track, if people don't know, that was the same track that's from Berlin.
Okay.
So I was a part of all of that when Bolt ran fast in Berlin, and they sponsored or collaborated with Jamaica, and they did over our stadium and also our training ground where I was trained. So I was training on the Reggae Pole track when it was fresh.
Yeah.
So people don't analyze track and field like people who run track analyze it. And other people analyze track and field with emotions. You understand? Mm-hmm. So yeah. Degassi is going to be up there because Degassi run the race from the back, coming finishing like a train.
Right.
But you know, I have to talk bad because I don't want the bookies to give him a good odds. I want to have a bad odds so we can go better and earn some money.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the women real quick though. So Sharika obviously won. She ran 10.8. Second place was Tia Clayton,
Yeah.
which was a surprise.
Yeah, so
Apparently, that's not even the fast twin.
Yeah,
So she came up, and then Shelly-Ann and Fraser-Pryce came third in 10.94. So 10.84, 10.90, 10.94 for Shelly. Are you comfortable with this as far as a Jamaican ending up on the podium on the women's side?
Most definitely, because as I said many times, is that Jamaica trials US team may be one of the hardest teams to make, but Jamaica trials is definitely I would say like Navy SEAL training, because we run if you're doubling in the space of what, 3-4 days, not 6. So for athletes to come in the first half of the trials and run so far, impossible. Sharika them have to come back tomorrow to run the heats of the 200, and then run a week time. Us, the people who know track and field, analyze that and say, yo, they're in excellent shape. There's no 2-day, 5-day, 6-day rest. Is Navy SEAL training, not Girl Scout. So look at that. I was like, yo, this girl coming on 982, which is 1082, which is Clayton, and then come back at 6 hour and then 10-9. That's awesome. That's wicked.
Yeah,
that's wicked.
I mean, considering she's never run that fast before, yeah, that's impressive.
And then remember, she being so young, her body is going into a zone that her body actually is new to. A lot of athletes can't come back on 10-9. We have seen athletes run a PB in a different zone. She legit skipped 10-9 and went 10-8. So to me, that's impressive. I know Sharika was looking good when she ran the heat. She was like, yeah, man, I got it. Despite of what her coach said about, this best ever feel, I look at and then pass my own understanding or analogy, because as I say, coaches do play the mind game too. You understand? So I always pass my remarks after an athlete's run and not what the coach said. I always say the coach, whatever the coach said, I always take that with a grain of salt, a pinch of salt.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what you think about I just saw it in an article. I don't know if Frano released it in, I don't know, a tweet or whatever he did, but it came out that he said that he was gonna let Keishain take it easy because he was up late testing.
Yeah, so I definitely can attest to that. Everybody have their weird testing thing, and I would assume that because he runs so fast, J3 or the officials did not want to make a time slip by and not be credited. So for the sport, it's okay, but for the athlete, it's not. But I definitely understand that. And then for him to be up until 1 a.m. not getting a full recovery, and then come and run 3 fast time in the space of 2 days and not looking 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Keishain looks dangerous, yo. I need to see him at a championships though. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that will hold me back from just coming out and say.
The thing I always say, and I'm not being biased, and anybody who in there can tell me if I'm being biased. I'll go back to it. The fact that our trials is 4 days to double and to do so much stuff, it's almost like a pre-international competition at the highest level. The fact that if you're doubling and you run your 9-7 today, you have to come. I'm telling you, tomorrow morning is a trial is 200 heats tomorrow morning at like 11 o'clock a.m. And then they come in the afternoon and 100 me. And then the next day they're on the finals. So I have no doubt that we will see a repeat of those times. And remember, we all know who their coaches are. Those coaches are known to give us quality times, quality performance, and it's going to be amazing. And for Civil has learned. Civil took his licks. He ran his bad championships, and those are through the door now. I think he has learned to pace himself, and he has learned to bounce. And he's much stronger, much more confident, and it's going to be. Price is going to be nice. We're going to leave with some nice.
Oblique's already in. If we're talking mind games, Oblique's already in Noah's head. Everybody knows that. Considering after the race, Noah's talking about, I don't know, what do you say again? The hold wasn't long enough in set or something like that.
Honestly, with all respect, politically, with all respect, that's the only person.
Wait. The mic broke up. You said what? You said what? Is what?
BS. like I would say I'm not gonna be biased, but like there's never a time that he took a licks and it was us. Him lose and it was us. Okay, lost or it was a bad day. It was always something about the gun, the stadium, the place, the time, and then his last remarks just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, and so we're athletes, and I've never ever said what he said about I hope the person is healthy. Ever. Because we all know, say, yo,
that was
bro.
Crazy.
We all know, so that's one of the most painful thing, bro, is it us to work to get strong for you to be injured at any point in time. So I think big man thing.
What would make him say something like that, dog?
I lost the respect for him as a person who's trained with, as a person I know. And honestly, I hear somebody say, bro, it rubbed me away because I've seen persons who, I may have friends who Achilles tendon down and them can't run again. There's so much stuff that just rub me the wrong way. Where I just to hear that, I just like, yo, yeah, like you can't.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, no matter who no matter who I like, bro, I'm some of the big ever, bro. And I've never said that to anybody, bro. I just take my list and just move on. Or just if somebody when I ran 9.7, my trials, I think the same time. 20.
Wait. You ran 9.7?
Me? No, not my bad. 19.7. When I ran 19.7, moments before after that, Gatlin had run fast, a little faster than me or whatever it is. And I'm deep about it. And yo, whoa, for real? And you're not joke about it. You don't say those stuff, bro, because it's nah. Fuck that. With all sorry for language, but fuck that.
I hear you, dog. That was messed up, yo. When I seen that was messed up. But like I said, yo, obviously Jamaica's in his head. The rivalry between Jamaica and the USA that's the sprint rivalry. So I like the fact that it's hot. It's getting hot again. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if Oblique was on his mind, and Keishain did this, automatically Keishain is going to be on his mind too. So, I was on Keishain's Instagram earlier this year, and it hasn't changed. He just has 2 posts, and I don't know. He's a mysterious dude, yo. In October, I messaged him. I was saying, yo, I want to interview you because I seen some potential there, and I expected him to run fast this year, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, sure, sometime next year though. So, Keishain, it's next year, dog. So, time for show up, yo. Because I wanna get a sense of him. I want to get a sense of who he is. I want to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you got a link to him, but I'll highlight him again. And then
so remember
I want to talk to him.
Remember is so for athletes who, for athletes like Kishan, it's definitely, I don't want to expose, I don't want anybody to read me. I want to be that mysterious guy that just pop up. And then you figure out, you analyze me along the way. It's definitely going to be one of those. And it's definitely going to be one of those. And I remember me spoke earlier about America standard is judged by who's going to be good by the NCAA. And Jamaica, we don't, because not all the athletes go to NCAAs. There are athletes who are run locally, and there's there's clubs in Jamaica who have a whole timing systems and a whole caliber athletes that they can run their own internal track meets and know where they are. So, as I said, that's why when I said yes, the Jamaicans can hold their hands, we can, because we use resources to benefit ourselves and play the long game. So Jamaicans, we do have a playbook like football, are not say Jamaicans, but coaches, experienced coaches. You understand? And then when you're in a market like Jamaica where there's not a lot of corporate people track, there's no need for you to be on social media trying to attract. You understand? We're not in Canada or America or the UK where there's a big corporate market for you to attract.
Right.
So you just focus on one thing,
which
is the track side. You understand? And that's why the main things is for Jamaica. We don't have to be on social media because at the end of the day, for us it's just track. There's no corporate sponsors. There's just Adidas or Nike, Puma, and track. We have no obligation to no TV, no sponsor. So yeah.
That makes sense. You know what? I kind of miss a bit of mystery, dog. I feel like everybody's. I mean, I do like knowing more about the athletes. I do like when athletes.
It will happen in time, enough. It will happen in time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I think not everybody has to be out there. So I mean, I find it appealing that there is a bit of I don't really know this person. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let me figure this person out.
So it'll be like say boxing or one of those individual sports where it's leading up to a big title. You don't see as much press for the person themselves until after the victories is done. Because the more press for the sport is just showing your hand or showing your weakness, showing your strength. But when they do win that title, though, you see them more. You learn about them more. And I think that's what track and field has become, because athletes are more protecting themselves to get a silverware, a hardware, than just being more vulnerable to the media. And then after the game is done or the championship is done, they have nothing to prove. So athletes are becoming smarter. And I agree, and I love that route. Learn about me after I win a medal. Like, you don't even know about things about me before. My focus now is to have something to my name, and then we can work on the social media part of it after.
Big up all the viewers. Anyone new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Sprint Culture Live. Check this out. Warren, Warren, you did you watch the American trials at all?
So the time difference, I just jumped in and I saw the 200s and the hurdles.
Okay. Well, I'm about to start talking some American trials. I want to also say this too. I know that you're big into creative direction and production and stuff like that. I find it a real disrespect that you didn't come on with your actual setup and your actual proper mic, and your actual polish. You came to me with this. I find it very disrespectful. I just want I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I find it very disrespectful that you have presented yourself like this to me.
No, listen.
I see it as disrespect.
I must say. All right. I thought you were going to go live, Instagram live. So I got Instagram live, jump on the live, and I was like, this looks like a setup. And then you send me the stream link after. So if you had sent me the stream link, don't worry. Tomorrow I'm gonna have my stream link set up fully.
Please, let's do that. I'd rather.
And though
take that.
I'm going to try to wear a colorway another way.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not go through that again either. I respect
All right,
showing up, dog.
One talk about one thing that is really impressive is
Oh, no, good.
Jamaican four hurdles, the four hurdles, male and female. Those were two really impressive times.
Yo, I didn't even see that. So tell me about it.
All right. I think 1 second. Let me draw it back because I have it right here. What's it? Let me tell you. Because I want to tell you the actual time. I think Rochelle claimed the equal Jamaica national record. And if I'm correct, that if you equal national record, anybody in the chat can help me. If you equal national record, I would also think that was also once the world champs record set by Millen Walker.
Yo, I got a question. So obviously your trials is a big deal, but does it have the same buzz that it used to?
It always will. Doesn't matter who's there, because
Right.
at the end of the day, people come out. People will support track for the name, but at the end of the day, the buzz will still be there. So people are still excited. Jamaica is a big track town, so people are still excited for that. So whether people are in the stadium or not, the talk will still be there. You get me, I said?
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to lose the stakes. First, second, farthest time, Millennium Walker did 52-42. And what did Clayton run? 52-21, 52-41. Okay, whatever it is. All I'm saying is that time that she run is super fast. And she looked like she surprised herself because she was heading for 53. And she ran 52-41. But what was most impressive for me was the male, because he equaled the national record for Jamaica, which was, tell me what the guy run, Malik, I don't remember his name. He run 47.
Hold on. I think I have the. I find this is a disrespect to Warren. Please come prepared. Listen, I'm expecting a lot more from you next time you're on. All right, I'm expecting a lot more.
When Jamaican trials are going on in the extent,
you got a little blind for that. You get a little blind for that. Okay, I give you a little blind for that. 4 hurdles.
Yeah, he ran 47-42, which is
For real? That's quick, yo.
So someone said if they will not medal, but at the end of the day, yo, at the Olympic Games, any card can play, and that's when we say mustard seeds emerge. You understand? And per se, he also ran the second fastest time ever at a Jamaican.
Yeah.
Obviously, equal, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? They're obviously making some moves, yo, and that's good because I mean a lot of the talks.
And for some of these athletes who are running so fast, like this guy, he's doing on the circuit. So now he will get a chance to run on the circuit more.
Right.
Never run on the circuit. So I'm excited to see, because a lot of them are now getting opportunities to put on these times to do something good. And we all know when the Olympic is here, it's like a boost of energy or a boost of your spirit just lift to go faster. Yeah. So everybody who runs all those times that fast at nationals, I know they can go faster because the Olympics is something special.
Yeah. No, Jamaica's gonna make some moves, yo. All right, check this, yo. After tomorrow, tomorrow's the heats of the 200, or are they running 2 rounds tomorrow?
2 rounds. So in the morning they're running the heats, and in the afternoon they're running the semifinal.
And then the finals is the next day.
And then the next day, the final day, Sunday.
Finals the next day. Okay, so if not tomorrow, then the next day, jump on live again, yo. We talk through what happened, yo. I'm interested in seeing
when is US 200 finals tomorrow?
200 finals tomorrow. Did you hear what happened today? With the US 200s.
For men?
Or the women?
I watched it.
Okay.
Was right.
Okay, so Sha'Carri ran the fastest time.
So I never started.
What?
I started at Gabby Eats. I never. When I skipped over, it was sure Gabby Eats.
Oh, Gabby's the last one, yo. Wasn't she?
Oh, so I started last eating.
Gabby was the last heat, yo, but she looked good, yo. She was chilling. She ran 21.7. She looked good.
Yeah.
So she's gonna win. Sha'Carri, I don't know. I feel like she's gonna be battling for a spot. I still think she's gonna come third at least, though. I was talking to Trayvon Bromell, and we're doing our predictions. He didn't have Sha'Carri making it. I think a lot of people might feel like Sha'Carri might not make it in the 2, but she's. I mean, she's. I don't see her as a double person. As far as being dominant, I see her being dominant in the 100. I don't ever see her being dominant in the 2. But
That's
I mean, it's good for 100.
Because a lot of the persons who were on the 2 are people who actually were stepping down.
Right.
So yeah.
I seen Abby Steiner. She made the final, right? But she just doesn't look the same, yo. To be honest, I kind of miss Nike Foot Steiner. She was different.
That's from Kentucky.
She was when she was at NC's. She ran 21.6. But she had the more bounce to the ounce, dog. She was doing her thing. Puma Abby is it the same?
She was also running a million races, so those races are still in her system.
Yeah, but she should be fresher now, dog. In college, she was running a lot, but now.
Yeah, surgery.
So you're saying she's not in shape? You're saying. Oh, what she have surgery on?
I don't know. I know they said she did surgery last year before the games. So yeah, I think yeah. I
apologize, Abby. I apologize for the disrespect. She's coming back from surgery. Okay, I guess it's. I mean, depending on what it is, yeah, that's impressive then.
And I think the workload that she did in college is going to take a little time to ease off because she ran a lot in college. Hillsborough.
She played football, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She originally a football player. Yeah, she originally a football player and then came over and.
Where's the football? Football or soccer?
Soccer, dogs. You call it soccer?
What's that?
You call it soccer?
I call it football, but remember, so I don't know if you're talking on the base of like American fan base or what's have to ask you. Yo, on the other hand, though, Noah looked damn fast.
Noah looked.
Totally for that's the only thing.
So
I don't
does
see
he look world record ready? Does he look world record ready?
You know what's the world record?
Yeah, I know what the world record is.
So you ask me dumb questions.
But okay, have we ever seen? Okay, let's take Bolt for instance. Okay, when he ran in 1919, through the rounds, did we see him cruise a 19.5?
Who?
Bolt.
I always remember this. Bolt was one of those people who understand the game and understand the sport, and nobody knows how to run rounds like Bolt.
100%.
And also 100%. remember this. This guy ran 9.6, 9.5.
Right.
What was the splits for the 1919?
I would like to see it, you know, because as impressive as Bolt's 200 was, his last 50 wasn't that strong.
Can you agree to that? Yes.
His turn was deadly. His transition out of the turn was deadly. And then the last 50 wasn't that strong. Noah's last 100 is very, 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 very good. It's very
okay, and I'll say this to you. What was Bolt's stride length like?
Yeah, he had a big stride.
That's one of the biggest difference. That's why when name came on the scene, that guy, brown guy, American guy, tall guy, 2012.
Oh, Ryan Bailey.
Ryan Bailey. That's why the American was comparing and said, "Oh my God, he's going to be good because he was as tall as Bolt, but he didn't turn over. I wasn't as quick as Bolt." No. So as much as Noah is fast and he be accelerating fast, this going through the last 50 fast, both stride length was still phenomenal.
Yeah.
That
So you're
was one
saying
of the
there's
biggest.
no chance? There's no chance of him breaking the world record.
I'm not saying there's no chance of him breaking the world record, but you see
said it was
signs.
a stupid question. Wait, you said it was a
What
stupid question.
question?
It's
Because I'm not seeing a sign as
it's
yet.
being recorded. Okay, so if there's a stupid question,
Bolt
saying
had
there's
run
no chance?
1958 before him 1919. We saw signs. Bolt had run 1906 before he ran 1919. We saw
Okay.
signs.
Okay, but 1930 is a sign, is it not?
Yeah,
Okay,
a
so
sign of breaking that record. But 1919 is still far from 1930. Still far.
okay,
It's not close.
so no chance.
How far is 10-1-9 from 10-3? Still some
It's
space,
about
right?
a meter and a half. There's a decent space. Yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying,
You're not answering the question, dog. There's no chance at these championships that he's gonna run it. I'm gonna talk about later on,
no,
but let's talk about just
no,
US
no,
trials.
no. Are the US trials?
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think he's gonna do it at US trials, but he's
And then
I think he'll run 19.3 though.
also, if that does happen or does come close to it, it's not going to be after him run rounds.
Right.
It's not going to be after one of those rounds. It's not going to be after one of those rounds. Because at the end of the day, as I said, you will see signs when it comes down to that. Like, bro, 1919 is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. No, it's ridiculous. Even saying it sounds ridiculous.
So
Sounds
ridiculous.
I
know, I understand that people said, "Oh, he run 19.3," but I understand that it's ridiculously fast. 1919 is fast, and I think what's calculated both run are even split.
That's a good question, Yo, Nat, I got this stat guy that's usually in my chat. Nat, with the stats, if you're in here, if you do know the splits, if they were positive or negative between both hundreds, just drop that in the chat. Let me see.
Yeah.
But
so what I'm saying is that
I'll say this though: if Noah's gonna do it, he shouldn't wait till Paris. I think it would have to happen in Eugene.
Yeah.
So if he gets his lane draw, if he gets 6 or 7 tomorrow, which he probably will. This is another thing. The preferred lanes now are 4, 5, 6, or 7. If you win your heat, it's random between those races, between those lanes. The top three, the top three, the winners of their heat, and then the first fastest time. So 4 people between those lanes. It's random. So he could end up in lane 4. I don't think he can run well in lane 4. I looked up this. We were talking about it the other day. From lane 4 down, he's never run faster than 19.7. He actually came 3rd at the Olympics in lane 4. If he has lane 4 and Kenny has lane 6 or lane 7, I feel like Kenny has a strong chance to beat him, and I don't expect him to break the world record. But if Noah gets his lane, either 6 or 7, there's no way he's going to lose. But that's going to be his shot. I don't see it happening in Paris. I see it happening here. I wonder if he thinks about it like that.
I don't know, but at the end of the day, I want to see that later because I just know Iman Kenny is going to be a good runner off the curve.
Yeah, Kenny looks good, yo. Whatever Noah runs, Kenny's going to be right there.
Yeah, and then never saw Aaron semi. Never saw his semi, but he looked pretty relaxed in the heats.
Yo, he looks good, dog. I rate him, because he's getting some scrutiny right now because I guess he's got this whole drug thing going on in the background, right? A lot of people were saying that he wasn't even going to be able to run. Yeah, I have a question. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Viewers, I want to hear what you guys think. For someone who's in the position of Arian right now, where it's questionable.
Wait. No, sorry. Somebody has a split right here. So the split was 992 and 27. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if it's that's not.
992 and 912. It's really fast. But someone tell me what Noah came home in in his 1930.
I don't know. This guy says Tyler said gave now 10-2 at 100 and 14.75 at 150.
Jeez.
Oh wait. Noah Where's today was with a 2.5 win, headwind, tailwind.
No, I think he had a 2.0. I don't think it was 2.5.
2.5.
That changes everything if it is. So it was 2.5. Okay, that changes everything, Doc.
So people are saying I'm a hater, but I understand. Like I sit and I watch track and field, and I watch demeanor, and I watch people body language, and I watch their running posture. I watch where their foot hit the track, watch how they run the curve. I analyze all of those stuff. People don't understand. Like it's not just look and say, and like I said, okay, they're like on it run 1959, but with a headwind, a tailwind of 2.5. Understand?
Right.
So when you look at the world record, whether it was Michael Johnson world record at the time, or Bolt time, or Noah time, you look at everything: the condition, rounds, how did they run the rounds? Did they? You understand? And at the end of the day, for Michael Johnson, for Michael Johnson world record 19.3, was this after rounds? If so, that's fucking impressive.
It was 4 rounds back then.
And it was 4 rounds. So people, so like what I'm saying,
after 4 rounds of the 4.
Because I was saying to people like if Sha'Carri don't get the world record in a normal season, let's just have an exhibition race, put in some, whether it's high schoolers or by male pros, and just have somebody pull her. That's what I'm saying. If it's not the case where she's going to be like, yo, me alone, get it. Because we saw that she went out there with the best, doing one of the last Diamond Leagues, and it's like she was like, okay, I'm running with the clock.
200 should have rabbits, yo.
You know,
they should put fast bend runners on the outside.
You know those?
You said what?
Dog race and run after the teddy bear?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, yo. Or the bunny. Sometimes it's a bunny. You put just like rabbits, like in the distance races, put some people that you know are fast turn runners on the outside, and then they can run off. Or an actual rabbit, just like the dog races.
All right. Look at that. Reese last comment. This Chris, come on, man. 1930 and 1919. There's no much that makes you say that's a big difference. All right.
And I saw something that said Noah came home in 924. Noah came home in 924.
What I'm saying to you guys is how impressive both 19 is, and how impressive Michael Johnson 19 is, and how impressive Noah 1930 is. Why I say Michael Johnson 1930 is impressive, that man ran the 400, and that man came and run 200, but the world record. Understand? So I'm not looking at the one run. I'm looking at what led up to the run. Understand?
Right.
When both ran 1919, both had nobody to even pull him off of the turn. The second was Alonso Edwards, and Alonso was around 19.8.
Yo, big up the one named Fred Curley. I see you in here, dog.
You understand? Imagine if both had somebody to at least pull him to the 100 or pull him all the way through the line.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's impressive, but I also look at each of them are impressive in their own way, because what led up to it, the conditions. Like half of these athletes carrying 4 rounds. There's not any that can 4 now and be impressive to me. They can barely make it 2-3 rounds.
Yeah. No, it's a different time now, dog. But back to my question. I want to know what you think about this. So, with the situation that's going on with Arian,
yeah,
do you think that he looks more or less innocent if he's running fast right now, or if he's running slower right now? Because obviously the eyes are on him where there's scrutiny, right? And he looks amazing. He's chilling through the rounds now. He cruised to 19.9 today. Yesterday it was a easy 20.1. And I'm trying to figure out what the public perception would be if they see him running fast right now.
In the court of public opinion, it's fucking. In all, because if he runs slow, he's going to be like he's hiding. He's doing some shit because they don't want to show him hand.
Right.
Run fast, they're going to say, oh, it's because of what they're hiding. But in the court of public opinion, fuck it, because it doesn't matter. You will always be guilty in the court of public opinion. So it's just for you to just have a clear mind and just focus on yourself. You understand? The rule has been put down, so just forget what the public think. Because at the end of the day, the public are going to think whatever they want to think, and you cannot knock on everybody's door and say, I'm right, because it's not going to work. So just go out there and do your thing. I hope it doesn't affect him mentally, or it doesn't affect him. I don't know if he was, training wise, or I know it wasn't.
He doesn't look like he cares, dog. He really doesn't look like he cares. To me, it looks like with how well he's running. Personally, I think with how fast he's running, he's kind of like, yo, fuck y'all, yo. I ain't do nothing wrong. You see, this is the thing about AIU, dog. Like, you see how they tried to appeal to try and get Toby after Toby Amazon already beat the case. They appealed to try and get her after the fact, dog. And she just beat it again. They announced today that the AIU lost their appeal. I don't know if they're gonna appeal again, but like these people don't rap, dog.
All right,
like they're on you, yo.
But you remember this last person what they said, last comment. People don't understand what steroids and hormones are pumped in American food. Remember what I said to you? The outside world, outside of America, don't know that people have organic food. Where we come from, all foods are organic. To the fact that we don't know, we don't call it organic. We just call it that's a banana. That's an apple, because all fruits where we come from are grown naturally, no hormones. So that's why I said that's what I said earlier many times, that at least just need to sometimes try outside for even the background season, because at least they know that they can eat healthy and not put themselves in certain place. Bro, it's crazy, because even to this day, I'm poisoned in the mind to just eat chicken or just eat the regular stuff. And it's because I was afraid to eat certain stuff, because I just don't know how it grew or how certain things was done. So that goes back to the person that said it's surprising to know. And more now in America, foods are pumped with so much stuff you don't even know why and what.
Oh yeah, I mean that on top of how
kids like my daughter, we gave her a melon, bro, and it had seeds, and she was losing it. She's like, "Oh my God, it has seeds!" I'm like, "Baby, melon do have seeds." You can imagine in our world, kids don't know that they are surprised when they see melon in seeds in melon.
Yeah. Yo, Fred, I seen you in the chat. I got a question, dog. I seen that in your story, you reposted my Nike Foot Fred post. Are you trying to tell us something? Are you trying to tell us something, Fred? Are you trying to tell us something? To me, that's how I took it. Like you're trying to tell us something. Let us know in the chat if you're trying to tell us something. That's how I took it. Okay. So yeah, Arian, I didn't have him come in top 3, but before the fact. But I don't do predictions once it starts. It's not a prediction no more. But in my prediction, I didn't have him come in top 3. I had Courtney getting the 3rd spot, yo. And it's gonna be a battle between Noah and Kenny. We still got to finish that. We got to do that piece, yo. I have an idea as far as how we can make it work without the remember we had the headband issue, right? I got an idea. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if Trayvon's in the chat, but all of our picks are still safe right now in the 200. I'm killing Trayvon with my picks right now, dog. Yo, my predictions were on point this time, yo. Let me ask you a question. When I'm watching these races, right, or people trying to qualify and make the team, right, I'm like, yo, it's mad because a lot of these people, if they don't make this team, their contracts are going to take a hit, yo, or they're going to get dropped or something along those lines. But I think that adds to the race because there's an element of desperation, dog. Like if I don't do this, then I could be fucked, yo. How do you feel about everything being transparent, contract-wise, going into these races? Kind of similar to relegation in football.
Is Bramel in the chat, right?
He was a second ago. He should be in there.
For me, first I have to say, for New Balance is one of the reasons why Bramel was able to recover and come back and get a medal. You understand? Because
they stayed with him, you're saying? Because
they stayed with him, and a lot of shoe company pressured into getting out there. So a lot of athletes don't fully recover. They're just treated like horses. Like, you know, you're good enough to run, go there and run. So like, because I've seen Bramel at the lowest, and you understand. So I know he felt when he was injured and wasn't really good. There's very few athletes who have a contract that can actually just focus on recovery, and I think that's one of the biggest part of our sport, where the shoe companies don't allow the athletes to recover to their full potential, not potential where they can run in, but to their full potential. So big up New Balance for that. The other companies need to catch on. That's my main key. I don't like when the athletes are running with desperation. You understand? Because when you're in desperation, you put your body at more harm. When an athlete is running to keep a contract, it's not like when you play basketball and you go for a certain amount of numbers. That's simple. Track and field, every part of your body is under strain. And when the athletes are forced to do those stuff, it actually does destroy the athletes to the fact where contract is not anymore, because I'm going to force myself to keep my contract and run and end up can't do nothing with the contract next year because of the money.
So you're really looking at it like a track athlete.
And there's many athletes who say that we won't call the names. We athletes try to run to keep their contract and just end up them get the medal or them get the time, and then it was never the same.
I'm sure that's pretty common, Doug.
So
from an athlete, big up New Balance for that. If you look at it from a track athlete standpoint, I see what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But from a viewership standpoint, if people were to know, if there's transparency, like, oh well, such and such has to qualify for this team, or such and such, if we knew the ins and outs of what people's contracts were to a certain extent, we would know going into a race how important that race is to certain people. What do you think about that type of? What do you think about if it was transparent like that? Do you think that would be a good idea? Viewers, do you think that would be a good idea as well?
Well, that's
personally, I think it would be a good idea. Personally, I think it would be a good idea because it gives the race its purpose.
That's a job for the analysts and those people to narrate those stories. And I just don't feel like that's a job well done by the analysts in reporting certain stuff. Like, I don't feel the analysts are doing a lot of researches into the races. Then just research the top man and that's it.
It's really hard to find out people's contracts, though.
Not the contract, how important the race is, whether all these athletes, because come on, man, there's many ways to know stuff, and some of these people do know stuff. But I think
did you ever share your contract numbers with anybody?
No. But I'm saying to you,
would you have felt uncomfortable?
No, because at the end of the day, it would highlight how corrupt and how political shoe companies are. And it would destroy the game.
Yeah.
It will.
So,
because because at the end of the day, a lot of big bucks goes to the athletes in the bigger markets, and we all know that.
Right. So you're saying that there were people in other countries who didn't have your hardware that were making more money than
Yeah,
you, retainer
couple
wise.
NCAA stuff, couple All American pushes, and they're signing a bigger contract, and yeah.
Was that motivation when you raced them?
Like a motherfucker. Swear to God. Like, I've had this discussion many times before. I said to them, yo, my mindset was like, Jamaica championships, high school championships is cool. You win it, but going pro, I have to rebrand myself to like, these people don't know me, create a new lane. And I think that's a step that a lot of athletes do after NCs. They don't try to say, okay, I won NCs, I do this, do that. Now it's for me to step out of that NC shadows and step into this pro shadow. A lot of them are still living in the shadows of what they did at the stage. And the ones who actually elevate and stop talk about this and that, those are the ones who actually elevate past NC's levels. And as a lot of police come to NC's, not all of them turn out to be good on the pro stage.
Right. But this is the thing. This is why I think it should be transparent, dog. Because going into races knowing that
never be transparent. Remember, why would never be transparent?
I think there needs to be, dog, because that adds a cool dynamic.
There's so many athletes that are signed for several different regions. Athletes who are signed on likability, athletes who are signed on athletes who are signed on geographical location. So it will never be, because at the end of the day, an athlete who are signed because somebody put in a good word. So on the shoe, it will never be public, and everybody's there to protect their brand. So why should I tell my contract?
People are signed for those reasons in the big four sports too, though. In NBA, football, both footballs. I don't know so much NHL.
Yeah,
but baseball.
At the end of the day, they have a purse in terms of this man have 100 mil, 100 mil no matter. In track and field, it's not a big cap. It's a set money, and it doesn't matter who comes and goes, the money stays the same. Believe me. It's a set money. And if you realize why athletes are always pressured, because let's say 10 guys running fast, and there comes 2 new guys. They're going to find a way to hustle these 10 guys to make the money come down so they can make space for 2 new guys. The track and field just stays the same. That's why you never have a bunch of. That's why as much as you might hear about the big numbers, you don't hear about the big numbers a lot.
I think the transparency would keep them from doing stuff like that, though.
It would, but at the end of the day,
I think it's something that has to happen. You know what? In the Grand Slam track league that Michael Johnson has, I wonder if he's going to have transparency.
But that's prize money. That's not contract money.
No, I don't know. I think Sydney got signed for some money, dog. And Josh Kerr, I think they gave him some money.
What I'm saying to you, that whether that's transparent or not, that is still not true contract money.
Not true contract, yeah.
You're not gonna hear,
Yeah, if it's not going to be transparent, there's always going to be people getting shortchanged, yo. Yo, Oblique, I see you in there, dog. Yo, big up yourself, yo. We're just talking about you, yo. Let me know in the chat. I know you don't talk much, but let me know in the chat if you're satisfied with your performance today.
Yo, I can tell you where Oblique is right now. It's what, 11 a.m. Oblique is probably still in the back, trying to.
You might be waiting to get tested or something, yo.
That's it, bro. You don't leave. People don't understand. Don't leave Jamaica after running a finals until way hours in the morning, because they have to test the entire 8.
Oh, they test all 8?
Because you don't know how to play. Someone get injured, have to move up, so you have to play the safe games. Everybody has to get tested.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, Oblique, you did your thing though. Still, all you got to do is qualify. So I know Noah's waiting for you. We all know he's waiting for you.
Hey.
Warren, who's the GOAT of track and field? Let's close with this. Who's the GOAT? Any event?
Both are my goat.
Both.
I don't know my goat. My goat is Herb McKenna, bro.
Who is he?
No, we have to end the chat right now. Go and do some Google, bro. This man won medals at 1 and 400 meters. This man was running for Jamaica when Jamaica was under the British.
For real? So he won the 100 and the 400.
Medal, not one. He won medal in the 100, 200, and 400.
So he's like a the original quote unquote Fred Curley.
Fred Curley is him. Yes. If you look Herb McKinley, bro, you're seeing black and white images.
Herb McKinley.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and
that's your goal.
And why I say he's a goal is because in leaving what you guys call it, while leaving primary, elementary, what they call it, he was the one who recruited me to go to my high school. So for me, it was always a fact that this guy who I look up to recruited me to come to this high school. Even though he got sick and wasn't coaching me, I still felt that I had an obligation to him, to live up to him, because he wanted to say, yo, bro, sign you, come into Calabar. That's my goal. Yeah.
So you're biased.
No, I'm not biased.
You're definitely biased.
Go and look up the history.
No, I hear that, but I'm saying there's some bias there.
No, there's no bias.
Okay. Before I go into who you think is the actual GOAT, this comment says contract transparency is needed in track and field. So
listen. Herb McKinley at the Olympics had gold at Helsinki in 1952 Olympics. In 1948, he got a silver in the 400. At the 1952, he got a silver in the 100. And he also, at the same Olympics, got a silver in the 400. He got a silver in the 4 and the 1 and a gold in the friggin' 4x4 at one Olympics.
That's very impressive.
Yes.
But you had to separate your GOAT from who you actually think is the GOAT. So this is bias. But this is bias. There's nothing wrong with it being biased. I might have a biased GOAT too. But as far as the GOAT.
No. And this man was 159 pounds.
Real.
6'1". 6'1".
Bro, that's impressive. Pounds. I'm actually happy about the history lesson. This is good. I'll remember this now. This is good. I like this. But before you get to your actual GOAT, let me read this comment. Just so I want people to hear it. Contract transparency is needed in track and field so the shoe contract market can be more competitive, thus improving athlete contract valuation. I agree, because people are just giving people numbers. They can give anybody anything based off anything. It's just keep people on a more straight and narrow, or give some sort of structure, People will still get some bullshit contract they don't deserve, but less people, it would happen less. Okay, tell me who you think the actual GOAT is.
Actual Sha'Carri GOAT, Shelly.
It's a good pick. That's a very good pick.
That's a good.
I would say that it would obviously, the obvious ones are between Shelly and Bolt. I think Bolt has the edge. But I think, and I was just thinking about this today, there's an argument developing for Grant Holloway. So I don't know if you saw the hurdles today.
For what exactly?
Grant Holloway, 110 meter hurdler.
The GOAT for what exactly?
I'm just saying, as far as overall career accomplishments,
Yeah.
if he gets this gold at the Olympics, he has an extremely strong argument. First off, he hasn't lost in like.
Can't have a strong argument because at the end of the day, the pinnacle of track and field is the Olympics, and these other people have been to the Olympics several times and got
Several
gold.
times. Totally get it.
So it'll be the
Totally
argument, but it's not a strong argument.
It's very strong.
How strong?
It's very strong. If he gets the gold, you have to understand he hasn't lost indoors in like 6 years. I know no one cares about indoors, but he has that. He has. And also if he gets the world record, let me make that clear as well. If he gets the world record, which is very close.
So and he doesn't. So are you saying that he has a stronger argument than Mundo?
Than who?
Than Mundo.
Absolutely. Because Mondo has never had competition. He's just way better. He's never had to battle through anything. There were some races that Grant has gone in and won where people didn't know he was going to win. He's won multiple world championships. If he would have both indoor and outdoor world records, and he would also.
All right. So publicly, what people would classify people in track and field as the GOAT as. Doesn't matter how good you're in that. If it's one event, you're not going to give that to you. It's one event. Tested and proven is how are you in multiple events. 1, 2, 2, 4, long jump, triple jump, high jump, something. People even like Carlos have a stronger thing than because they did multiple events. All these events. And I'm not taking away from that, but I'm saying that's just remember. That's how our sport is. Like I can't give a footballer a goal one accolades because him scoring enough goal. You get me? Is he a good distributor?
Right.
Is he a good assister? Is he a good overall? It has to be more to it.
So you're saying multiple events would have to come into play?
Yeah, like different attributes of it. You understand? And at the end of the day, he's only gone to one Olympics. And that one Olympics he didn't get. He doesn't even have the Olympic record.
Okay.
There has to be
but
other
he could
stuff.
if he breaks the world record, which he might. He just ran 12:86 today, dog. If 12:80 is 12, so if he gets the world record, he would have the world record and the Olympic record, indoor and outdoor.
Okay.
Personally, to be a goat, personally, well, hold on. To be a GOAT personally, I feel like you have to have a world record.
But I'm simply saying you have
that
to
eliminates Shelly.
What's that?
That would eliminate Shelly.
We can't go there, bro, because.
But if you want to say the multiple events thing, personally, I feel like you have to have at least one world record. We're talking GOATs. We're talking about the greatest of all time. You have to
win Olympics and get gold and conquer the Olympics.
100%.
You can't conquer the regular season. You can't conquer the regular season and have a longevity of Olympics.
I think he needs one. I think he needs one Olympic gold.
No, he have one.
Bregin, if you have one Olympic gold, you'll have the Olympic record, obviously, if you break the world record, and then you have another world record, and you've been undefeated indoors for 10 years, dog. Not one person's beaten you.
No. As I'm saying to you, you guys can count indoors all you want, but I'm simply saying, if internationally we were supposed to stop counting that, we'd have stopped counting it after and count professionals meets. So I'm simply saying that.
Only outdoor?
No, what I'm simply saying, if we're talking, yes, he has won so many years, and I was one of the person who brought that to attention. What I'm simply saying, we have to separate college, talk about pro. Because if so said, so done, we can say an athlete has won, never lose, and count them at home victories.
Okay, I agree.
So we have to separate them.
I agree.
Also, have to look at the fact that there's also other athletes who never do, but they have longevity where they get certain accomplishments. You understand? So not taken away from that. What I'm simply saying that the regular season, we're talking about what country has a GOAT is yes performance, but he also has to have the medals stretched across different Olympics. The world champs is there, but the body of work has to be done over time.
So he has to have more than one Olympics, in your opinion.
I think Messi probably the go to football, but they can't be the go to World Cup.
Right.
But
Okay.
you can't compare track and field and football because there's different layers to it. We have
100%.
to look at the layers of it. We
Right.
can't count professional goals. Them could count him goals before him go Barcelona or before him go pro. So you can't count him in academic goals and goals from in growing up. You have to start count somewhere. So yes, he has been undefeated indoor for how long? But professionally, you have to count different.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
If it was, I can get up with that. So that would
so
still
if you had one in Tokyo,
it's about 5 years. It's about 5 years.
If you had one in Tokyo and come win again, argument for being one of those.
Okay.
Yes, he might be the GOAT for an event, but can't be the GOAT for track and field.
Because it's only one event.
Not only one event, the longevity of him.
He's still young, he's still young. So watch. Let me see. So he has a silver. And if he gets gold, and then if he gets gold in LA, and he has both world records.
He'll be known as one of the greatest to ever do it. He's still one of the greatest to ever do it, but he'll be known as
considered a GOAT
to do it.
Would he be considered a GOAT if he did all that?
He will not be the GOAT, but he'll be one of the GOATs. You have to understand, so it's a sports team.
Oh no, man.
Ask the people in the chat.
Tell me what y'all think, yo. If Grant Holloway breaks the world record and then wins in Paris and then wins again in LA, and maybe has a couple more world championships between there, which he probably will, if he would be considered the GOAT of track and field, because I feel like he's kind of in the discussion right now without the Olympic medal. If he gets the Olympic medal, gold medal, he's definitely in the conversation now.
The GOAT of the
Actual
event.
random said no shot. Who said what?
The GOAT of.
He needs another event. Yeah. Okay. But would you rather him better than Bolt though? No, it would be a tall ask to be ahead of Bolt. But
he can't be the GOAT of his event for sure.
Okay, so watch. What if Noah ended up breaking Bolt's world record, and Bolt only has one world record? So it kind of balances out.
What Noah will have to pass those is the accolades from the different.
No, I'm not talking about Noah. Noah has a long way to go. But okay, let's talk Noah.
What's that?
Let's talk Noah then. If Noah breaks Bolt's world record, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been a world champion in the 100 and the 200, and potentially he hasn't done it yet. Say he did double at the Olympics this year and win the 100 and the 200. So he had back-to-back 2 years, double, and gets a world record in the 200. Would he be considered, or would he be in the GOAT conversation?
I'm trying to remember the accolades.
Dog, he's got the American record around 1930. He's a world champion already.
Forget the American record. Forget the record. You have the American record. So forget the American record.
Yeah, forget that. So he's a world champion. He's a world champion in 20.
But I'm quite sure he'll be needing some more. Both did four world champs, right?
And Noah's won 3. Noah's won 2019, 2022, 2023. Noah's won the 200. Right.
Yeah.
But now he's coming down to do the double. So this would be a back-to-back double. And then if he got the world record in the 2, I think he'd be in the conversation.
Yeah, he will be in the conversation because he's already up there with some of the elite sprinters as a go.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm not writing down to look at the accolades. He definitely has the most sub-20s because both didn't run that much 200. So for sure, that's it. But end of the day, as I said to you, to be considered the GOAT, a lot has to be, And we still in football. Like we still don't know. I can ask you who's the GOAT of soccer, and you can ask me the GOAT of soccer, and people can decide who's the GOAT, or even basketball. This is a never-ending debate that will people classify the GOAT for different reasons. There's only one sport I see people say that's a GOAT, and people work with that. 2 sports.
Which ones?
Golf and NFL. That's the only 2 sports members say, oh, that's a GOAT, and
Right.
leave it alone. And tennis. Serena go at tennis. People say, oh yeah, for sure. She can.
Right.
Tiger Woods, and people say Tom Brady. The other sports, because of the competition and the competitiveness of it, is so hard, and people always having different layers and different tiers to it.
I think it's a viable argument in the track and field world. I think it needs to circulate a little bit.
Aside from the most sub-10s, nobody will ever break that. Nobody. He has 90.
Almost got 100, dog.
That's crazy thing that somebody on 190 something time. Yo.
Okay. Okay, we covered a lot tonight. Viewers, respect for tuning in. Warren, respect for joining, giving us some insight. Like I said, if not tomorrow night, because I get the baby, I don't know what's gonna happen. She's changing everything right now. So
question.
Tomorrow night,
what time won the US Canadian trials?
Yo, your mic's breaking up. Warren?
And chat, I can tell me
Warren,
what
hello?
the Canadian trials.
Warren, your mic. Your mic is Warren? Oh man, we lost Warren, man. Yo. Check this out. Viewers. Warren will be back with a better mic and by his proper setup. If not tomorrow, the day after, we'll talk more about the Jamaican trials. I'm actually going to get some people to come on here. Richmond Miller, the commissioner out here in UK, going to come talk some UK trials with us. Probably get some Canadian athletes to come and talk to me about what happened at the Canadian Championships. And next week, Joseph Fambule is going to come and talk to us about the African Championships. Apparently, some shit went down. Yo, hey, Warren, you're back. Warren, listen, don't get disrespectful, yo, because I'm just going to come on the scene in Paris and ruin everybody, yo. And I'm going to remember all the slander. All of it.
That's actually pretty cool.
So check this. We'll see what happens tomorrow, man. I'm gonna see what my daughter's saying, man. As far as that's concerned. And then we'll continue the chats, yo. Keep on checking out all the results over the weekend, and yo, chat. Everything you say up in here, I try to keep up with it, but always keep the chat going. And I'm gonna be having a little contest coming out. Maybe y'all can start practicing. Since y'all are in here, y'all can start practicing. People are gonna be entered in a draw if they can sing or rap the Sprint Culture Anthem or the intro song by Youngin. You can either send a video to the Track and Field Network, or you can send a voice note with that. So you have to do that. You have to be following the Track and Field Network. You have to be subscribed to the Track and Field Network on YouTube. And you can subscribe to Unconventional Productions as well, but we're focusing on the Track and Field Network. So subscribe to the Track and Field Network on YouTube, following Track and Field Network on Instagram, and you can recite word for word the Sprint Culture intro song or anthem. And you send it to the Track and Field Network inbox. Okay. A little task for y'all. I'll probably announce that again at some point. Heartbreak.run. Enter the discount code Sprint Culture. Get your Super shoes. And yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about after this 200 tomorrow. I think if I jump on for a little while, we'll go through it. And yo, big up Grant Holloway, yo. Didn't get to talk about the hurdle for that long, but he ran well. Third place is 12:92, I think. No, third place is 12:09 something. But you get 3 guys under 13 seconds, and a guy running 12:86. I think he's gonna break the world record, man. I think he's due. He's dealt with Hansel Parchment a couple times since he lost in Tokyo, and I think the victory he wants over Hansel Parchment has to happen in Paris. That's the one that he really wants. That's the one he's been thinking about since Tokyo. So we'll keep an eye out for that. We'll big him up. Big up Freddie Crittenden. Big up Daniel Roberts. They did their thing. I know y'all think Grant should run relays, but it's going to be tough to get on that team, yo. All right, Sprint Culture Vultures, I'm out, yo. Big up, respect for the tune in. Respect for tuning in to Sprint Culture, yo. I'm always bring you up to speed. Bars, I'm out.
We talking sprint culture, we talking track and field. When the gunshot lick it, give a man the chills. We talking speed demons like Usain. The red track where a legend really makes their name. The US and Jamaica, they run the sprinting game. There's nothing like the Olympics for your claim to fame. When you break the world record, you show you ain't the same. From the men to the women, times are insane. Yeah, we talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture.